All right, so if you own a 2009 current HD touring model, you most likely have this old inundated cam style axle adjuster design on your bike. I mean, what was Harley thinking when they made this? It is like the most basic, non-efficient design that I've ever seen for a back axle. And if you want to upgrade yours to more modern technology, Performance Machine has just released their axle adjuster design. It will come with everything you need to make this upgrade. It comes complete with a stainless steel axle. It's got these really nice nuts with safety clips. It does have bike stand spools. If you're not going to use those, you can simply remove them. And to keep your back wheel fully aligned, it's got these adjustment lines on both sides to make sure your axle is square with the bike. Now these are super easy to install. You need about an hour in your garage. All you will need is a flat jack and some wrenches, and you can do it all by yourself. Now I do have my bike up on a lift, but that's not necessary. You can do this on the ground just as easily. So the first thing you're going to want to do for the install, put a flat jack under your bike and just jack up the back wheel enough just to take the pressure off the rear shocks. Make sure both your saddlebags are off. Then take the safety clip off your stock axle. Go ahead and remove each lower shock bolt and take off the axle nut off the right hand side of your bike. Now if you've got dual mufflers, you're going to have to remove your left side muffler. And once you've done that, go ahead and remove the axle from the rear wheel. I went ahead and zip tied both shocks out of the way to the saddlebag bracket. And this is a good time to clean any grease and grime out of your axle area. Go ahead and slide the new axle into the rear wheel just a little bit. And then I don't like to use grease on my axles. I like to use a anti-thread seize. It's not as thick and gooey, and it does the job perfect. Once you slide the axle all the way through the wheel, go ahead and put the axle adjuster on the right hand side, on your brake side, and screw the nut on far enough to get the safety clip onto the axle. Then go ahead and thread the nut on the shifter side and just snug it down. And so you know too, the nuts take like a 32mm socket. I tried to find an American socket to fit on here, but ended up buying a 32mm. You can put the socket on these nuts even with these safety clips in place. So you might have to go out and buy a 32mm socket. Before you do the adjusting though, make sure the threaded post right here is all the way tight with an Allen wrench. Then back off this front nut right here so it doesn't get in the way, and then tighten this nut right here to pull everything back to get the proper tension. Once you get the tension where you want it, bring this back nut up here up against the aluminum body of the adjuster, and then take this nut right here, snug it down tight. Do that on both sides to make sure your back wheel is aligned with the bike. Look at both adjusters and make sure that the white lines are adjusted the same on both sides. And then once you get both brackets adjusted properly, go ahead and torque down just this side right here of the axle nut. Torque that down to about 100 foot-pounds. Then next step is just reattach the shocks. Go ahead and cut your zip ties, bring your bottom shock bolt down, use the new bolt that's longer than the one that you pulled out. And then what you're going to want to do once you get both the bottom bolts done, take out your top bolt, your top stock bolt, remove it, and you're going to want to use the new longer bolt that comes with a spacer. That spacer will go on the back side of the shock because the bottom of the shock is now out further because of your axle adjuster. It is a good idea to put some blue Loctite on the bolts for the shock. Once you get all 4 bolts in, go ahead and torque those down 35 to 40 foot-pounds. Then that basically completes the install. Put your saddlebags back on, you're ready to ride. You now got these trick new Performance Machine CNC billet chain adjusters that are way more superior than stock. I mean, they'll keep your back end more true. They're great looking, great quality. I mean, look at how much nicer that looks than what we had before. I mean, night and day. Anyways, guys, there are some links in the description of this video where you can go find your own Performance Machine axle adjusters. I absolutely love these things. I think you guys will too. They also come in black in case you don't want gold. Thanks for watching this video. See you next time.